have an explosive support duo here with a Bat Rider on top as well, but the response from Yakutou is stronger. Global Silence to break it up, a Storm that zips around, your hold for the Storm isn't amazing, and Solar Guardian to cover, so a little bit more challenging here for the side of Tundra to run it down, and for Yakutou, more angles to play with could lead to some easier solutions to even out or take the lead in the game.
Should be a very interesting one. Group up again by the runes. Perhaps a bit more action to come this game around at this banner rune timing. Quick, already some wards being placed here by Baboka to block off the camp. So we do see stacks tend to be made quite early on when you do have this Shaker core, and of course it does allow you to get that very early blink by just slamming all the creeps. And Baboka is going to have his smoke broken, but we'll realize that they are hanging by that Radiant Triangle. So we'll not get caught. As I was trying to say, John, it's pretty important to ensure that you block these stacks being made, because if you give this Shaker the early blink, things can get very, very challenging for your team. Here comes Tundra. They've wrapped up through the top jungle, right behind Fly at the moment, but they have a ward there, so chances are Fly will eventually see them, and now he does, though they do see him as well before he reacts, so the chase is on now. Flamebreakers want to knock him back, but he's got help nearby, a 3-man Arcane Curse, and now a shard on a Saksa. Nowhere he can go. That should be first blood, and it will be. Ollie to take it on the Silencer.
You'll be feeling good to already start with a little bit of extra int. Not the biggest thing in the world, of course, but always feels nice for your Silencer to kind of get that done. And already a nicer start here for Yakutou, right? Like, yeah, you have a lot of early damage here for Tundra, but running into a Silencer, you know, going on to the DK first, this is a very tanky hero with his innate, not an easy target. Taking a look at that mid, of course, you've got BZM on that Shaker up against Emo on the Storm. And again, this is not going to be a fun time for BZM. He's got some lane control at least. He can get some CS, but...
I'm looking at 33. Yeah. He's got 4 rings of protection already, this guy.
Yeah. Just, that's how you go.
I mean, I know it's the build. It's just every time I see it, it just looks stupid, you know? I mean, I realize it's the way to play it, but it just doesn't feel right, does it? As we chase him down a little bit.
No.
Not like you can do any damage to him, though, to be fair. You know? He's got +8 armor. No regen necessary. He's a happy boy.
Yeah. Sits back, farms. It's also very good item to kind of counteract that Corrosive Dragon anyhow. So the minus armor is just kind of try to even out this early durability 33 is providing to himself and kind of play the lane. And this lane is still relatively easy for Fly though. Maybe there's a threat at, say, level 4 with a 1-1-2 build, but even then, DK is just way too tanky. Mid, you're seeing the issues here align for BZM. Again, this matchup is just not good for Shaker, especially with a nerf the Slugger as an innate. It's just not as good as it used to be. You don't have that presence to deal with Emo.
Because a lot of pressure is going to be applied here for Tundra to try and secure these power runes. I mean, it's still going to be a long way away, mind you, but very, very important for Tundra to not allow Emo those free power runes at the 6-minute mark. Apart from that, though, like, yeah, the mid lane is a bit of a wash Emo's way, but CS-wise, at least the Shaker is still finding some farm. Bottom lane, it's pretty slow for Chrysalis at the moment on the MK, but he's gone for a big creep pool. Doesn't really seem like he wants to go for the direct matchup here against the Tusk and the Dawnbreaker, of course, because it's quite a devastating combination. So he will just kind of keep his distance.
I think that's showing a lot of respect. We've seen the power of this combination for Dawnbreaker as well with the Tusk. As we are still seeing hope.
He's surviving. In fact, he'll turn around for a quick Battle Hunger out. And the damage is just kind of dumb as Toby is going to die down bottom lane. So they do finally find a kill down at the bottom. But man, it's just kind of ridiculous how much damage poor old Ollie had to take from that one Battle Hunger.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, you're really stacking up the armor now for 3-3. Has that chainmail up, so even more armor to add damage, plus 18 or plus 15 damage on Battle Hunger when you apply it. So that's what, 27 damage per second. Not an insignificant amount. That's almost twice the damage at level 1 for free from items that you're going to buy anyway on the axe. So I'm feeling great. The bot lane's still a little bit of a mess for the side of Tundra. Again, you're finding better grips here for Yakutou, much stronger lane setups to play with. Again, this Dawnbreaker Tusk is something we saw all the way back to Saberlight TSM days. That's something that they absolutely love to run. It felt really strong back then, which was quite some time back. Basic foundations that are still strong. Mind you, as the levels go up and more presence comes in for Crystallis, this could get a bit dangerous quite fast.
Yeah, I mean, Chase is on now, but they
there.
haven't really got the slow or the movement speed to keep up with Baboka. So no really anything to happen here for Tundra down bottom. Top lane, a bit of a chase onto 33 again, but with all this armor, it's really hard to actually kill him. Last word, and Arcane Curse will be thrown out. It will probably not be enough, and there you go. Not even close. And he doesn't really care. Like, even without regen, he might have to hang around a little bit, but overall, he's just going to stay in the lane.
Yep. Just sit back, soak some EXP up. Oh.
TP's incoming from Saxa to try and help BZM, though no, he does end up cancelling it off as BZM's still in big trouble. Eats the water rune. Here comes Saxa now, but he might be the food they're looking for. But no, they don't have the jump. Emo's still level 5, can't go too much further, but already applying that pressure here to BZM in the mid lane. It's almost the preemptive warning before that level 6 does come up here for Emo.
And that's where the big threat comes in. You don't have the easy hold. They're still hanging around.
They're going. They don't need the level 6. They want him now. A nice Fissure, though, going to ensure BZM does have the space to back off. But they will force him back, and that will allow Emo a bit more space to try and hit that level 6 early, as they are going to go again. This time they'll find Saxa, and this is definitely going to be a free kill. Ollie will take it for himself.
Might have been happier if you managed to give that to Emo, but they'll take what you can get. 0-3 so far. A great start again for Yakutou, having all of this early Crescent Eagle.
No, I mean, that's a problem. I was about to say, John, there's 0 stacks being made in the Radiant Triangle as well, because they've done such a great job of just blocking the camps every time. As top lane, they are going to move in, trying to take down 33. 33, the big call out, but it's not going to make the difference. Here comes Saxa trying to at least get something for their trouble. He will find Baboka and does find a TP away. Still a very nice trade for Yakutou Brothers. But I was going to say, John, about that mid-kill, BZM doesn't have any catch-up fun. There's no stacks that were made because the camps kept getting blocked. But that kill on Emo, it doesn't make up for it, but it does kind of give him a recovery point. Now he gets the power in at 6 minutes. That's denied from Emo, who just hit level 6. And that kill, it could come back to haunt them.
And it could. You have a little bit of an early start for BZM. No real opportunities yet to try to play with that slam, unfortunately. And again, because you don't have stacks.
Beyond and looking like he's in a bit of trouble, but sticky napalm stacks not really landing. They do end up getting him out of there just fine. Keep in mind, the good news for Yakutou is this whole time, Flyfly's basically been free farming. While 33's been impossible to kill, he's not actually doing much towards the DK either. Just stacking armor at the moment.
I mean, you might as well be playing Clockwork at this point with Chainmail, wouldn't you? Emo?
Don't tempt him, John. Saxa, they're going to move in. They'll try to force the fight. Emo, he's trying to zip out of there and does successfully do so, but the Echo Slam, BZM, he was right there. They will still find the BZM kill. But Baboka will go down. They do find Ollie as well. They will miss out on Emo, but it's a nice set of trades here for Tundra.
They will. Unfortunate that you don't have BZM kind of around to soak up. And he didn't manage to pop the Arcane to have that lower cooldown slam as well, but maybe they'll find an opportunity to use it just in terms of building up some farm. And they have managed to secure control in the triangle once more. And again, they even out the game 4-5 beyond, still not 6.
Yeah, he just uses Celestial Hammer as well, so there's no real escape route for him. He is going to die rather quickly, and Crystallis will pick up his 3rd kill of the game now as top lane. They're going to chase down 33 once again. Yes, he's got armor, but at some point, it doesn't really feel like it's making a difference, as 33 will end up going down. And honestly, for Yakutou Brothers, I'd say that's a pretty nice trade. Because at least with the Dawnbreaker, even without the blink or anything like that, you can still get involved and have fights. But as the Axe, you are pretty reliant on having some kind of initiation.
You are. And I like how Yakutou are playing still. Emo goes into the triangle to clear out some stacks. They still have their cheeky obs. They're going to get the blocks off again. They're wasting so many resources the Tundra has to counteract. And they're keeping the game really nicely tied up. You know, you're getting that farming pace you'd want on your DK. You're eventually going to hit 6 on Beyond, and you can start to tie that into this Zip Solar Guardian kind of combination that you're looking for to keep that momentum up still on Yakutou. For Tundra, this recovery process is the worrying bit. Like 33, he's got his phase boots up, he's going for the Blade Mail, and eventually just once you hit this double blink timing with Shaker Axe, the game can kind of simplify. But that is still a ways off. Right? Again, it's down to how well Yakutou has been working that triangle. How well Ollie's been consistently dropping these wards, dropping these resources in, just to ensure you don't have that quick build-up for BZM or for T23, who's had rougher lanes on top of that. So they have stronger lanes, they're controlling the resources, they've got the tempo lining up on Yakutou. I mean, by the time you get this next Dragon form up, you can start to think about objectives that will tie in with, again, that Solar Guardian on Beyond. You are still slightly away from only having that full global silence, but you hit that point where you get these levels up in these supports as well. And the team fight for Tundra just looks pretty terrifying to play into. Like, you need so much more time here. Right? Like Toby, again, because he couldn't stack, isn't getting that free gold. He's not getting that free gold. He's not going to have fast Tranquils, fast Force Staff, fast Blink. So that key momentum that you can tend to see from Batrider isn't coming online anytime soon. Monkey King just needs time to farm up. As Crystallis knows, he is going for the Battle Fury build. Kind of old school, sit back, farm. And that means all of the tempo really has to come in from BZM and from Turkey Tree. But these two heroes are very item dependent as well. So you are stuck in a bit of a dead zone for Tundra unless, you know, someone overextends once more in Yakutou. And for Yakutou, as we approach that 10-minute mark, this game starts to look better and better. You know, they've got a very clear strength from, say, 10 to maybe 18 minutes if they keep that tempo up and kind of keep these cores shut down. Whether or not you can keep them shut down for that long, though, remains to be seen. But they have the tools to get that done as this timing starts to approach here, Mike.
Absolutely. Just noticed as well, Jonathan, I was looking at the heroes up top at the scoreboard, and Chrysalis, I believe he's a Grandmaster tier Monkey King, John, but the levels do not indicate so, which means that somebody hasn't subscribed to Dota Plus, John. Very disappointing. Very
you know what
disappointing.
It is? You know, Crystallis is, he knows his predictions are going to be in the top percentiles. He's going to get some free Dota Plus, you know? That's it. He's playing the smart game, Mikey. He knows he's going to get some good points this year. He knows
That is clever. That is clever. I will admit.
You know what? You ever think about it? If you were a pro player, I've never talked to any pro about this. If they do play the predictions, do they just put their own team in? It's not something I ever talked about. You
know
put the
don't.
actual statistically strong ones.
Yeah, you know they don't. Yeah, they might act like they believe in the team huddles, John, but they know, you know, they know sometimes they're just screwed. You know.
Yeah, but, you know, Crystallis comes across the guy who does believe in his team, you know? Remco, he's the kind of guy who'll be like, yeah, you know what? I put all Tundra, you know? We're strong. I know we can do it, you know?
I wasn't referring to Tundra, John. You know, they're probably one of the teams that actually believe in themselves. You know, I'll give you that, Jonathan.
Yeah, I know what you were thinking about, and I could easily see any of the cuckoos saying nope.
Pink's top lane. So they want to try for Fly, but Emo's actually here. In fact, Emo's the one jumping in, but a very nice taunt out from 33 with the call, but the drag back here with the Vortex onto 33. He just cannot sustain it, surely. But here comes BZM. The Echo's in. He caught 2 of them, but Emo's perfectly fine. It'll be 33 for Beyond, but now the chase is on for more. Fly with a great tree chop. Buying himself a little bit of time, but the chase continues. The lasso is up. The drag back is there. Eventually, surely, Fly will die, and they've got him. Double kill for Crystallis. They'll jump in for more, but the Wukong's command was still available. Boundless strike out from Crystallis, trying for a bit more, but he is going to get shards blocked here by Baboka. Who does that even favor, Jonathan? Who won the team fight?
I'd say it's slightly better for Yakutou. Yes, you lose Fly. You have to commit most of your spells, but you're taking these fights without global silences. One, you are having Emo soak up all of these free galvanized and have some good activity. And the Storm is really the key thing that gets a little bit scary from Yakutou as the game scales up, as they're going for more.
I mean, Emo's out of mana. He could be a freebie, but he's got help around him. Saxa is trying to do the work from the backside, but BZM is gone. Saxa still trying to cut him off. Chrysler's going to jump in with the balance, does secure a very nice kill, but here comes the cavalry. Nothing comes for free. And Saxa will be the payment that is made to Yakutou Brothers. Smoke is there from Toby though. Toby maybe looking to move in as now 33 does show his face. A two-man call is there. He might find one back, not quite yet as 33 now going to go down. Chrysler still trying, but they will land with the stun. Chase on for Baboka, they will be able to secure, but now Fly looking for the chase does go on to Toby. But Toby casually running his way out of there, should be just fine. So they are out of range for the stun here with the Dragon Tail. Very messy engagements up the top lane as even mid now, BZM not catching a break. And keep in mind, John, he wanted his blink like 3 minutes ago. He's just not catching a break at all. They will try for the silencer. The urn is not going to be enough. He'll survive on 20 HP. But you've got to love how much they've shut down BZM this game.
Yeah, they've put a big target on his back. And again, the matchup just is rough for BZM. And having no stacks is just slowing down his game. And they've really exploited this weakness in Yakutou Brothers quite nicely. Right? Like, they understand what they can do. They respawn, they take the re-engage because they have that global silence. Ollie just hits level 6 right then. And it goes back to all those talking points, right? Like, this team fight potential coming out from Yakutou is massive. Your control for the storm is not. And they are still set to go. Baboka has the punch. You've got a little bit more mana on Emo. No one showing top, very least, so there's no one to punish. And for Tundra, they do manage to start to open up that triangle area now, getting some stacks in. But now you have to share that farm kind of with 33 as well, because he is a long ways off from being really comfy in this Axe game. Like, he has the blade mail recipe flying in, but he needs, he has to take it, right? Like, you need that blink. You need that Lotus to be up. You need so much.
Oh, bottom Chrysalis. That's a big streak to give away. Emo with the amp damage rune able to secure the wicked 6 streak of Chrysalis. It's about 1k gold going around to the bank account of Emo. He's having a very good game this game too. And Chrysalis, I mean, he's the guy you don't really want to see dying right now, considering the rest of the team is somewhat struggling. But that is how the cookie crumbles. Is I thought BZM would have enough gold after those Ancients, but he's still trying to get it. The poor guy. There you go. He's got it up now. His game's finally alive.
Yeah, it's the start. Slam is still a ways off because he had to clear out. So they're going to have to kind of wait and see. But Yakutou, I don't know if you're that concerned about it. As long as you take a glimpse, like the first time, the blink might surprise you, although.
Zip in mid lane, BZM, he just got the blink up. No surprises, has already died as they are going to move right up to Toby now. And Toby not going to make it either. Appreciate the fact as well that Emo ended up going for the Sanj instead of the Kaya first, just to have that added bit of survivability against these heroes. And it just, I mean, they can barely kill him as it is now in this storm. It really does start to feel like it's just the freest storm game. Because you don't have the blink on Axe. You don't have a blink on the Bat Rider. You know, you've only got BZM.
That's it. And again, that's a big weakness coming in for Tundra in this raft. They leave that Storm Spirit option. They go for this kind of build-up. They don't have hard control. They don't get that early ball rolling as well with the aggression that you were maybe expecting from laning from Nature's Prophet working the map. It's just no opportunities presented. The lanes didn't feel strong at all from Tundra in the early game here. Maybe Crystallis' lane, you could argue, was a little bit better, but they weren't getting some kill action because of how well Yakutou Brothers could fight back on top of that. And it's just a matter of, can they find a way back in? Because Yakutou are in complete control right now. They're trying to play around up top. They've got the smoke. There is vision here as well from Yakutou. And one thing as well, these kinds of moves are high risk on the side of Tundra. There's a global silence. There's, oh, it's still on cooldown, but there's a Solar Guardian at the very least that covers you as well. So bodies can instantly come in to back up. And Yakutou, they're the ones that'll go hunting. Full Kaya Sanj done on Emo. The damage is starting to ramp up a little bit more.
Scary, scary. Smoke is broken as well here for Tundra and BZM. He's going to get spotted, but a nice blink away. Emo, though, does he give up the kill? I don't think they will. They see him. He ran underneath the vision. They know exactly where BZM went. And there's nothing. I repeat, I believe there's nothing that BZM can do to survive. He will drop. He's just a very, I don't want to say unlucky, because Yakutou have been doing fantastic work here in this game too, John. But it's just he can't catch a break. Even just trying to get away, there's an observer ward watching him in the top lane.
Yeah, and again, it's just down to how well Yakutou has rallied back. I mean, they're playing an actual match of Dota, right? Like, they're not having to play a mini RTS here. So, they have their timing still beyond, maybe a bit forward.
Global Silence immediately out there on the TPs to come in just in case they need it. Although, TP cancelled, they might go again. Toby, oh, he doesn't have a blink up though, John. Nothing to really play with. You're kind of just struggling for farm right now between these heroes of Tundra. Like, you really want to maybe prioritize Toby's blink, I dare say. Because you do have 33 going for a Lotus Orb instead of the blink rush. And that's fair enough, but it does start to feel like you need that initiation against this emo Storm.
That you do. You need some way of catching that hero out. Once again, you don't have a lot of options here. Even the call, I don't think, goes out fast enough for a Storm. That's considering emo as well. Like, he will have a window to respond. A very narrow window for sure, but not something unplayable for that Storm Spirit. They do have some good forward wards now set up on Tundra, at least in this triangle area. So they can kind of feel comfy in farming. The key issue is still that there's no aggression that can come in. Right, like that, they have no easy openings. Maybe you get lucky and get a good slam setup coming out from BZM. But the best you can hope for now in Tundra is just a farming recovery game. Mind you, on Yakutou, you do not want to let Tundra farm back into relevancy. And let's say the blink timings come in, that's a start. If BKBs can be formed up, you start to lose that tempo on Yakutou. Yeah, you still don't have easy answers for the Storm, sure, outside of these blinks. But just having a way of removing that global silence and being able to fight into this big window that Yakutou can set up on these fights, it starts to make the game even out quite a fair bit more, especially considering how much space is being given out to Crystallis with that Battle Fury he farmed up earlier. And he's had not the greatest game of his life. He has had a lot of activity coming out, but the past few fights haven't really panned out. With Simeon Stride, he's working the map so fast, he's already just a recipe away from that full BKB we're talking about here. And once that's up, he's going to have the confidence to actually follow through with his team. Have that, not care about the global silence, not care about the control. Just go all in, stand in the middle, and hope his team can kind of follow through. Their area control on Tundra, if they can leverage it, is still pretty damn high. It's just a matter of playing into global silence somehow and getting that initiation.
Well, it certainly feels like Yakutou Brothers are probably the ones that should be forcing some fights right here. So again, it does really start to feel like a bad idea to allow the catch-up farm for Tundra. And I think that the 3 blinks being up is going to be very concerning for emo. You know, you've got 2 ways of just piercing BKB as well for this Storm. It's not going to be very fun. Zemo now, he's on the hunt once again. They'll head towards the bottom lane, just wrapping through that Radiant jungle. Tundra, though, being very good about their map awareness, are all going to retreat and head to the opposite side of the map. So no kill to come here for Yakutou Brothers, and this tends to be one of the big frustrations when you're up against a team like Tundra, is they always find a way to make you dance across the map and find nothing.
And that is one big strength for the lineup, right? Like, you have Simeon Stride and Crystallis. Again, he can move across the map quite fast. You've got Nature's Prophet just farming up top in this very nice defensive corner where they do have vision set up as well, although not quick enough for emo. And this is all they want, right? Like, waste time, prevent that plump up, prevent this utilization of, say, the Zip Solar Guardian, especially with fresh Ags up here on Beyond. You're not getting any activity. It's been maybe a good solid 2-3 minutes of dead time here that Yakutou wants to be able to fight into. Now Tundra are kind of getting set. They've got that full Lotus up in 3-3. They have the farm, and they have a good idea where Yakutou is hanging out as well.
They've got the blink up on their Bat Rider to boot, so you got to be a little bit wary here as emo, but it looks like Toby doesn't really have a way to get there. He's got no TP available right now, so they're going to make the jump in onto 33. It's a 4v5 scenario in favor of Yakutou Brothers for now, so the Global Silence will come in with a beautiful Solar Guardian. Crystallis, though, is still surviving in the Wukong's command as they do take down Baboka. Toby, he's right around the corner now. Not looking too good for Yakutou Brothers. They caught Firefly to boot. And well, now you've got the whole team nearby. Ollie, he will get the TP off just barely. Can't say the same, though, for Beyond, who also gets caught. And even Emo's still around the area, but he will not get caught himself in the storm. Although he's thinking about jumping in for this Tormentor play. Can Emo time this? This could be pretty scary for Tundra. They're going to get Toby out of there. The Tormentor not dying. Now the zip in, trying for Chrysalis, and he does get him. He does get him. He wants more as well. Zip through. He's going to miss out on BZM. He'll miss out on Toby. But he does get something for his trouble, John. You know, there's no Torment to take.
No. Still stays alive. That sneaky vision that they've set up here on Yakutou paying off. Still a pretty rough time for Yakutou overall after a very strong start, right? Like the net worth lead has disappeared. You are seeing the strength in having these blinks and having these dispels on hand with that Lotus pickup from 33. Having some options to play into some of this control is massive. Having all of this extra armor as well, providing quite a fair bit of a buffer for 33 to actually get his call and dunks off. For Yakutou, this is now where maybe some of the issues come in, right? Like, it's not too long till the next GS. It's not too long till the next Solar Guardian as well. And he can still look to play.
Emo, he got caught with the lasso, but he's actually fighting back here. He doesn't seem to mind as he just jukes out everything. Every single stun they threw out did not land. There's now the jump back in here from Baboka, trying to find an entry point to this fight, but he sacrifices himself. But they do at least pick off Saksa as now Fly. He just wants out. They miss the Boundless, though. The Flame Break, not the best, but they're still onto Fly, who cannot fight back through the BKB of Chrysalis. They'll drop the Solar Guardian, try to help out this DK, but how do you keep him alive? Well, you'll take down BZM first, and now Chrysalis, he's a sitting duck. Fly won't die. He'll survive all, but it's now 33 trying to salvage. Will take down at least the DK. Chase is on. They won't find 33. But it's still a great fight for Yakutou. And it's all off the back of Emo just juking out all those stuns.
I mean, you're just seeing how much you have to commit on Tundra to try to catch out Emo. It's just, he is still slippery. Right, and again, we were right before that fight. You know, Ollie was only a few seconds away from Global Silence. Solar Guardian wasn't too far off. And that's without even the level 15 talent up or beyond. You get that minus 15 seconds up, and you never know if it's safe to jump Emo. You know, it feels like the uptime of Solar Guardian is just too high. Woody Ags up, with how much healing it provides, that reset in the middle of an engagement for Yakutou is just insane. You've got the Storm now that's snowballing out of control. 17 Galvanized stacks up, going for a BKB next. And really, once that BKB is up, you have serious issues. You do have some debuff immunity Pierce, but that removes the impact of BZM finding his targets. And, you know, getting that control, that follow-through control they'd want, or setup they'd want for the Blink Lasso. In a game that's already difficult, I mean, your options are shifting around here for Tundra. For Yakutou, they managed to recover back in. You know, they regained this net worth lead back. But there are a few solutions from Tundra. Full Orchid up for Saksa. At least that avenue of control is there, if they can find the right target here. Smoke out from Yakutou, though.
Good comment. Saksa may have revealed himself, and he does with the Sprout out. They do catch at least the Prophet, but he has help in round. Lasso is going to connect onto Emo, but there's no follow-up to it, or is there? The fish is going to land. Emo, no, he's perma-stunned. He is perma-stunned by BZM with the shards up, just not allowing him to leave. I didn't think they'd have enough damage, but they certainly had enough control. So they'll move in for more now. Tundra trying to at least start sniping Fly on this DK. Chrysalis, he'll jump in. Onto the silencer they'll go. Ollie, a sitting duck, he is down. Fly, a lot of sticky napalm stacks applied. He'll pop his BKB, but the chase surely continues. Because without the BKB up, there's no chance he'll be able to make it out of here, I don't think. And there you go. They're just bullying him. But the Solar Guardian, it will come through. They'll re-engage, but the three-man call. 33 locks them all down. Fly's gone. 33 dunking another. Triple kill for 33. Well, I found out what the 3 stands for, John. My goodness.
Yeah, he certainly can count up to that number quite nicely here with old 33. For Yakutou Brothers, again, maybe just not the way you'd want to kind of take those engagements. And yes, there's a lot of sustained through. Not having Global Silence this time around certainly did cost them. So you would want that counter control. And even that fight for Tundra was slightly awkward. Right, like that chase for Crystallis, he couldn't get the gap closing in faster because Toby cut his 3. With a Firefly by accident further on, you get that forward jump in again. coming out and the chain control kicking in for Emo before he can kind of pop anything like, doesn't even have that BKB. Maybe with a BKB it becomes a little bit easier, but it certainly is just, you're seeing the very specific angles you have to take for Tundra. And just never finding the opportunity for Ollie to actually get a good global silence off certainly does hurt. I think that's what you have to be so cautious about for Yakutou. Yes, you have this really good hit and run. You have these really good avenues that you can take. But that recovery process has fully happened for Tundra. And they've got the lead. They had it a while ago with that fight that they were taking near top. And the game evening out. And there's still a lot of fight in Tundra that Yakutou can fight back into, but they kind of have to be smart about how they take these engagements. Like it almost felt like they were funneling in one by one, almost. Not quite, but it felt like they were trying to bait them into a position where they could fight back in. It just didn't feel like there was enough, especially if Emo is still not back up on that re-engage. You need that Storm to be with you, as he is the key aspect for all this. Like, you're winning most of these fights on Yakutou because Emo is baiting out so much utility, because he's eating all of it without dying. If he does die, it's a very different story there for Yakutou overall.
Smoke up in the mid lane. 33 is going to reveal that he is smoked up there, and of course with the shards up, he can just kill all the creeps of the battle hunger is being applied. Love the fact that he even goes for the greedy enchantment on his neutral item, because he doesn't care about the right click, John. Why not?
Nope.
Bit more gold never hurts. Counter smoke now from Yakutou Brothers. They will hang around their dire jungle for now. Roshan, of course, is still available. Looking to head into that Radiant Triangle. 33 is around the area. And he might just break the smoke of Emo if he's not too cautious. Emo backing off at the right moment as Boca continues to search. They might run into Toby, and in fact, it looks like they will. Toby will get caught, but Christus with a beautiful balance strike, buying a bit of time, but they have got the Bat Rider at the very least to start. The Fisher does lock down at least Boca. That's one down. A 1-for-1 trade. Because now 33 will come in. And here's the problem. You can't really move with these battle hungers applied, as Emo will also try and jump in to help out as Chrysalis. He's dropping low, but the BKB is going to be fine as now 33 being jumped to boot. He will die on the axe, but now the lasso out from Toby. But where's your follow-up damage? It's not going to be there. They'll jump Beyond instead. Beyond will go down. And overall, I mean, it's not a bad fight for Yakutou. They do at least force out a buyback out from Toby, but it still looks perfectly fine here for Tundra, who are making a slow comeback in this game too.
Not they are. Again, they're keeping it even.
Ollie. Scary. Emo gonna jump in. They're still just trying to snipe Ollie while they can. And it looks like they might have him, but the snowball buys a bit of time. Problem is Toby's gonna die back for that. Here comes Chrysalis. Emo's very low on mana. A beautiful Fisher landing on both of them. They'll opt for Baboka instead of trying to chase down Emo though. They'll get what they came for. And it seems like Tundra, they've hit a level now where they can start to play aggressive themselves.
I mean, they've been at that point for a while, it feels like. For Yakutou, it's not that this game is in a bad state, but losing your advantage like that certainly doesn't feel good. I think it's just a matter of how do you layer your spells? How do you take these engagements? Tundra are looking to break you apart piecemeal, right? Like they're looking to drag in Yakutou one by one, force maybe earlier usage on Solar Guardian or on the Global Silence than would be ideal for the execution of these fights on Yakutou, not providing that window for maybe Emo to zip in and out during Global Silence to look at the back line. It does feel like there's a little bit of damage drop-off as well coming in for Yakutou, considering what they're playing up against. This is a Shaker that starts to get a little bit tanky as the game goes on, a Monkey and an Axe that gets very tanky as the game goes on as well. So even if you are kind of seeing them come in, and you can get all of these spell uses out, can you even find burst damage to kind of deal with it? They take that free Torm now on the side of Tundra, and they do get that free Shard going for good old Saksa. So he does have that Curse of the Old Growth to scout out in the tree line as well. Rosho being taken by Yakutou. Again, this damage is lacking. Like there is no real fast burst here.
And they know what's happening. They scanned it. This could be a pretty awkward Roshan attempt because there's still time for them to get there. and try to pick up a few stragglers. They'll scan again. Roshan still going down. They've got time to try and jump in. 33. He'll move in onto Fireflies. They do try to secure Roshan in the meantime, but Firefly, he's being left behind. They'll force-staff him out eventually. But the chase is on. Lasso is going to catch Toby. Will drag him back. Emo now with the Solar Guardian jumping in, trying to help out. They've taken down BZM and Toby. Tundra, have they gone too far? They'll keep going, but it's only Chrysalis now and Saksa versus the world. And Chrysalis, he's losing this fight, though he's still trying to man up here up against the Dawnbreaker, but it's not enough. They've taken him down. They've got Saksa to boot. It's a full team wipe. And I thought Firefly jumping up that staircase was going to be a bit of a problem, but they just don't have the damage output to finish off the kill.
Just way too tanky. And again, they stagger their spells much nicer here on the side of Yakutou. Getting a really good Solar Guardian afterwards, getting the Global Silence off first to kind of break up that engagement, force the BKBs, and kind of layering all of their spells nicely here on the side of Yakutou. It just, yeah, I mean, we were talking about damage issues coming out for the Yakutou Brothers. You also have some output issues right now for Tundra, considering that, you know, you've got the Scotty build with Crystallis. He doesn't have that fast burst, no Daedalus up yet. You can only do so much as well on the Axe for 33. He doesn't have the highest HP pool. He does have a lot of armor, but there's a significant amount of magic damage just flying into this Axe as well. And again, they had to pop those BKBs a little bit early in that engagement, just making it a lot tougher to counteract all of that. Yakutou maintain a 4K lead. Again, this game is a lot more back and forth. It has looked better, perhaps, for Yakutou for the majority of the game, or a bigger majority of the game than it did for Tundra. And they are starting to build in. Right now, you're looking at damage coming out for Firefly. He's got Daedalus being built up as well. He's got the Crystallis set to fly out for himself. And yeah, it's just a matter of how do you start these fights on both sides. With more utility coming in for Yakutou, with this full Ags and Baboka, with the kickback, things can go from bad to really bad for Tundra if you're not too careful. Again, the tools you have here for Yakutou is just high.
Well, that's pretty bad right there. BZM getting caught out. Not gonna make Tundra feel very comfy. Nice pick off for Yakutou Brothers once again. You're reaching that stage as well where Firefly's really starting to dish out the damage on this DK. It is starting to hurt, and he'll have a Daedalus up rather soon. Now, Tundra, I mean, they're experts at these kind of games, you know, buying unlimited time and just pushing out creep waves over and over again, so it's not like they haven't been here before. But this does feel like one of those games where it could take a little bit longer than anticipated for them to see a comeback happening for themselves. Especially again, because Firefly, he's mostly just been tanking for the team every team fight.
Yeah.
Like, he hasn't really been the damage dealer. But once that Daedalus is up, you start to get a little bit concerned.
That you do. And again, it's just down to how do you counter-fight in Tundra, it feels like, or initiate, right? Because if you are initiating, you're only catching one, as we've seen multiple times. If you are counter-initiating, you can kind of pick and choose, and I think 33's had the tendency to look for the backline, looking for Baboka and for Ollie first, but that just leaves open avenues for Firefly, for Emo, for Beyond to just kind of get some damage out. Saksa just managed to TP away from that jump from Emo, but you can see the confidence racking up here on Yakutou. I believe that should be that full Daedalus flying out now for Firefly. So his damage is starting to be overwhelming. And for Tundra, and again, it's not unplayable. It is manageable, but it gets pretty tricky because the circumstances where they found these big openings are if they can isolate Emo fully. You know, they have to commit even just a one-man slam to keep the chain stuns going to get that damage off. And that's getting harder and harder. He's got the full Shivas. He's got a pretty decent chunk of armor to eat through. And it just makes it a lot slower for you to actually look for that window here.
Jump in, BZM again, being the first one to get caught out, and he is just deleted here by Yakutou Brothers. And right onto the tier 3 tower as well they'll go. Nobody from Tundra is here to try and defend this. There's just no real hope without BZM, I don't think. And even through the backdoor protection, they'll get rid of the tier 3. There is a creep wave coming, even though Toby is trying to skip the creep wave as best as he possibly can. It's not going to make the difference. They are at least losing this bottom racks. Thankfully for Tundra, they still have their tier 2 towers. The 33 is going to get caught out, but a nice Lotus to force the stun back the other way. Snowball's going to be there as well, but the BKB does come out. He does go for the call. but it doesn't look too good as he does try for the TP, but it doesn't really pan out. And now Saksa also gonna die as a 2-for-0 trade now for the side of Yakutou Brothers. And with that, I mean, Tundra still looking for a way back into this game, but it's looking pretty dire.
And it is. Again, it's just so hard for them to play into the clump up of Yakutou. It just has to be their own clump up, their own full commitment to try to burst down Emo, as we've seen before. Feels like that's where a lot of their success comes in. If you can just fully focus the Storm, if you can catch him off guard, you get a good lasso, you get the chain stunts out from Toby, you get the call even afterwards to set up. And that's where things can get rolling. Unfortunately, it just hasn't been happening. Emo's been a little bit smarter with their position. They've been using Fly as bait. It's a lot harder to try to look for Emo because there is a feasible threat in Fly that you also have to control this DK when does show up, and he's already just buying out the full Ags and does have the full gold for it now. So that extra level in the Dragon as well, with the Black Dragon coming in, it's an added menace to have to contend with, right? So even if you try to ignore everyone and look for Emo first, you're just gonna die anyhow. That you have to find some way to do this with the high ground. However, if they can kind of play into this high ground defense, and with at least this Aeon disc coming out in BZM, he won't be insta-gib, and you have some repositional plays of your own. Like you've got the Blink Lasso back with Force Staff. You can drag someone very far in, try to get some punish. It just feels difficult to see that being successful when there's Solar Guardian to cover anyhow. So even the kidnap plays don't feel like a big comeback mechanic yet for the side of Tundra.
I mean, this Ag's Solar Guardian has certainly been an absolute pain point for Tundra, that is for sure. Daedalus now completed on Chrysalis. He has got a Divine Rapier queued up straight after that. So making the choice to go all in after this Daedalus was picked up. I don't know if they're going to have the time, to be fair, Jonathan, because tier 3 towers are now being knocked on. This DK with the Magnifying Monocle not going to be in too much risk as they do jump in now. Saksa already caught on the Prophet, though a nice 4-staff away. Will allow him a way out of there. But how do you protect this Rax? Well, they'll try to drag him in with the lasso, try to get him by the tier 4 towers, and he is there, but they'll kick Chrysalis away. He's still in the Wukong's command, though. He's still fighting this one out, but they can kill nothing. Tundra are falling apart here as Yakutou Brothers just so darn tanky. They will give up nothing for their trouble. An immediate tieback, or rather death on Chrysalis. No buyback available for him as 33 now going to jump in. Big call out, but the Snowball's going to save. Nothing's coming out of this. They'll kill off Maboka. Ollie also to go down, but they've lost 33 a second time. Ultra kill for Fly. And they haven't called it. They're holding out. BZM also being chased down. Will go down by Beyond. Onto the Megas they'll go. And Yakutou Brothers, well, there you go. The GG's finally called. It almost looked like they couldn't believe GG wasn't being dropped yet, Joe.
Yeah. In fact, Emo couldn't even be bothered dropping the second G. Just says G back. And that is a 1